What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with RK Outpost, and I just stumbled upon this article from CNN by Brian Lowry of CNN, and caught my eye. Doomcock tweeted it out. I went ahead and immediately made an archive of it using the Wayback Machine, Internet Archive, so that it doesn't get any clicks, it doesn't get any ads. It's just a snapshot of this trash article. So I wanted to go through it. The Rise of Skywalker takes flight after the rise of the Star Wars trolls. Wonder what they could mean. Star Wars has always enjoyed a strong bond with fans, which has become one of its defining features. Yet, as The Rise of Skywalker brings the original saga to a close, the rise of the trolls threatens to fundamentally change that relationship. First of all, trolls. That means that people are doing it without sincerity. And I can damn well tell you that that is not the case with people in this community, that's for sure. The backlash against The Last Jedi, the 8th movie in this particular series, turned inordinately vitriolic. While there were legitimate questions about how representative those voices are, and indeed what role Russian trolls and political provocateurs played in dragging the comments into the sewer, God, it can't believe that we're still talking about this crap 2 years. The cacophony from social media has at times made it easier to simply tune out those voices rather than engage them. It's worth noting that this appraisal comes from someone who's harbored plenty of misgivings. Oh, don't worry, guys. I have plenty of misgivings about Last Jedi too. Don't worry, I'm being sincere. In contrast to much of the critical establishment. Some of the reasoned complaints about the film and choices made by Rian Johnson to these ears made perfect sense. Nice. The tone, however, became absurdly ugly, lashing out in ways that exhibited a loss of perspective, forgetting this is a fantasy controlled by a major corporation, there to be enjoyed, debated, or disappointed about as such, but one over which no fan can claim personal ownership, however much time, money, and energy they invested into it. That's true. No matter how much time, energy, or you invest into it, it is not something that you have the ability to control. You don't control what they put on. You can only control whether you pay them for it. And if you are upset with the product they're giving you, you have every right to voice your opinion. Not his words, mine. Johnson said then, and more recently a GQ article, that such voices represent a small subset of the overall pool. Still, writing in Esquire last year, Matt Miller, our friend Matt Miller, who is a piece of garbage, lamented that a loud section of Star Wars fans have become tragically synonymous with hate and bigotry. Tragically, it is tragic when people, instead of actually addressing the points that we bring to the table, say that we're bigots or that we're sexist or whatever. Yeah, that is pretty tragic. I'll agree with that at least. Matt Miller is an absolute garbage human being who wrote that article. It's disgusting, and they're using that for this. That hit piece that he wrote is now being used for this hit piece. What a shock. Because that's what they do. They write these things, then they propagate them as if it's been reported on, because it has. It's in something, so they reference it. A study by Morton Bay found evidence of deliberate, organized political influence measures disguised as fan arguments. And it's just so funny to have that be said. Not that there's not a couple fake accounts here and there, but by and large, in this community, we know each other. We talk to each other. We're not Russian bots. We're real people. I'm a person, and my name is Anakin. For real. That's troubling to the extent it's true, but it only stokes the sense that abusive quadrants of fandom don't speak with one coherent voice, can't be mollified, and there's not much sense in trying. And then he talks about a bunch of stuff here, talking about how maintaining a dialogue with fans is perceived as being good business strategy. Yeah, shockingly, yes, it is. Talent, including actors, directors, also use platforms like Twitter to speak directly to fan bases. The situation, however, has created problems for directors like Johnson and Last Jedi co-star Kelly Marie Tran, who was forced off social media by misogynistic and hateful responses she received. Again, wrong. Look at Ichibaka's video that he just did. He released a huge video about the entire Kelly Marie Tran story and why this narrative they keep pushing is garbage. Johnson attributes the ugliest elements on a few bad apples, defending the wider fan base and warning against generalizing based on that. On social media, a few unhealthy people can cast a big shadow on the wall. I agree. Like like a couple specific people at Lucasfilm can make it seem like all of them are just awful people with what you post to fans. Agreed. Yet, as Wired senior editor Angela Watercutter noted after her own run-in with trolls, when some of those participating in a conversation are seemingly there just to stoke discord, when it's impossible to know which sentiments are real and what motivates the people sharing them, discourse crumbles. Because they're so in their own space that they don't realize that people could actually not like that. They can't imagine that there's people out there in the world that didn't like that movie or didn't like this character for this or that reason. It's unthinkable to them that that might be the case. The release of the Star Wars movie is always an occasion, one destined to create strong opinions pro and con. Fans have avenues now to exalt or vent publicly in ways that were scarcely imaginable before the first movie premiered, and Disney wants to keep them in a buying mood. The rise of the trolls, however, hovers over the rise of Skywalker. And given the difficulty separating conventional heartfelt griping from bad faith trolling, the best advice might come from another memorable science fiction movie franchise. Remember that in space, no one can hear you scream. Interesting garbage article. Not necessarily surprised, but the thing is, it's not just us anymore. That's a bad time. It's a bad time to release this article when you have members of the cast. You have J.J. Abrams coming out and saying some similar things about Last Jedi that we have been saying for the past 2 years. It's not just anonymous accounts. I'm not an anonymous account, right? Several people are not anonymous accounts in this community and on YouTube in general that have criticized the ever-living hell out of The Last Jedi. Now you have Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, J.J. Abrams saying some of the same things that we've been saying. Maybe in a more PC way, but nevertheless, they're still criticizing it, much for the same reasons that we are. So it's just more effort to, again, to take the blame off of Disney, to apologize for The Last Jedi. To say, well, these people can't feel this way. They must be fake. They must be Russian bots. They must be not real. It's just a joke, and these people keep trying. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep using Internet Archive whenever I see these things. And as soon as I saw it, I archived it and I posted it under the original link that was put on Twitter. Because that, I think, is the best way to draw attention to it and talk about the lies and the absolute fantasies that they're creating while making sure that they're not getting ad revenue and that they are not being rewarded for writing the clickbait. Because if you use Internet Archive, you're not giving them a click. But let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear your thoughts on this article from CNN, no less, from CNN, about the Star Wars trolls. Right? Couldn't be genuine at all. Has to be trolling, I'm sure. But let me know your thoughts. Make sure you subscribe, smash the like button, ring the bell for notifications, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.